What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. All of my socials will be at the bottom of the screen. If you could give them a follow, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So we are having a little chat today. I'll say a little. We're having a conversation today about our match against Blackburn, which ended 1-1. We get a goal late on in the game with the penalty in the 88th minute, and literally within 2 minutes they make it 1-1. So let's talk about the game first. Blackburn were very, 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 very obviously, clearly set up not to lose the game. They are very, very well organised. They're very good at what they do. They sit extremely deep. I think if I have a look at the heat map on this, yeah, they sit really, really deep. You can just see in terms of the heat map Blackburn's positions. I'll bring it up on the screen now. So they do sit very, very deep. What they were looking to do was they were looking to pretty much just spring us if we made a mistake, which, you know, the only time that happened was when they got the equaliser, which I'll touch on in a second. But their style of play was very, very anti-football. They're a very, very well-drilled side. They're fifth for a particular reason. I'm just wanting to see something, actually. So let me just have a look. I just wanted to see something because it was bothering me. Excuse me. Let me just see. That's it. So I wanted to go there. Yeah, they're currently sitting sixth. So they've got a goal difference of +6. They don't concede a lot of goals. That's one of the main things. Definitely don't concede a lot of goals. So it was always going to be a difficult game. It was never ever going to be a pushover. It's the fourth game in a very, very short space of time. I'm not trying to make excuses for the players. These are all factors that come into it. Blackburn sat with six. It was almost like a six-man midfield with a four-man defence, and it wasn't just break us down, but there was little things like the time wasting which came into it, which as much as I complain at the referee, because for me, he missed one of their players basically punching the ball into touch, and I'm still not sure how that isn't called as a foul on Dan James, but that's by the by. But what was interesting to see was that the amount of time that was put on at the end of the second half was 10 minutes. So it was, I suppose, refreshing to see that was actually adhered to correctly. John Eustace was getting really pissed off. I think he was trying to tell the fourth official that it was only 5 minutes extra time, not 10, but it's just like there was literally 17 substitutions in the second half. People falling down all over the place. The keeper falling flat on his face and then staying down there for ages. People not... It was a weird overall game. It's what I like to call anti-football, but we should have done... No two ways of thinking about it. We should have done more than what we did actually do in that game. And I think the players probably were very, very tired. For the first time ever, I question Farke's substitutes. The one in particular was Solomon for me. I don't think Solomon should have come off. I think Solomon should have stayed on. Obviously, Byron might have a slight injury, so I understand the Wober one, but Wober actually played all right. I don't think Nonto offered anything. Taking Rothwell off seemed to completely isolate Aronson as well, so Aronson wasn't as good after Rothwell went off. That little link in there wasn't there. Joseph won the penalty. What can you say? Bamford, least said about Bamford, the better. He's just, there's nothing there for him anymore. But going through all the other players, Meslier, now on the goal, he flapped at it a little bit, went to the post, and then didn't defend it coming back. But the issue I've got with not only it being Meslier, but in the build-up to the goal, just take the player out and get a free kick. Or just defend the area properly. Then first 2 minutes after you score a goal, that's when you're at your most vulnerable because you're really high about scoring a goal and everything. But for me, there was multiple opportunities to absolutely hoof that ball into touch or to put your body on a line. We had about 5 players stood like really close together when Bath got on the ball to just to poke it home, and it was a scramble goal. It's just one of those things. It's the way that it happens overall. So Meslier was meh. A little bit at fault for the goal, but not completely at fault. The defence should have absolutely got rid of it. Byram injured. Wober came on. I thought Wober was fine when he came on. Did some good stuff. Unlucky with a shot towards the end. Strike. I mean, the penalty was absolutely coolness personified. Rodon was absolutely fine. Bogle, slightly worrying because, again, he's gone off with an injury. So Ampadu had to come on to cover inside for right back for Bogle, which is a slight worry going into the weekend's game. Tanaka, a little bit off it, was okay. Rothwell was probably leading us forward quite well in the game overall. Aronson did some nice stuff, was fine. Dan James had an okay game, but it was kind of like not top tier Dan James, about third shelf Dan James, if that makes sense. Again, I think he's a player that looks to be a little bit tired as well, maybe potentially, even though he rested in the last game, it's a difficult one. Pirou was all right, nothing too spectacular, but again, Aronson took that absolute whack in the face in the first half, and I don't think he properly recovered from it as well. His eye didn't half shine up straight away. Solomon was the best attacking player that we had. He fizzed in a wicked ball just before he got substituted, which Dan James was nearly on the end of. So, and again, this is what I mean when I say the bit where I don't quite understand that substitution of bringing Solomon off. And Solomon was fuming when he came off. And do you know what? I want to see that. I want to see players annoyed that they had to come off, because it means that they're going to go at it, or at least I hope it means that they're going to go at it next time with a little bit more, with a bit of a bee in the bonnet and something to prove overall. So, like I said, Ampadu came on, was fine, covering at right back. My concern is what that means for the next game against Hull. So, fingers crossed and all of that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I'm disappointed, but I'm okay with it, because we're still top of the league. We've still got a 3-point gap towards third currently at this moment in time. Yes, it was an opportunity to make a bit of a gap, but we were never ever going to win every single game away from home. At home. It's just like I said, it was just one of those overall things. And clearly, or what you genuinely get or generally get online after a game like this is, and I get sick of saying this sometimes, and people are going to agree with me, they'll disagree with me, which is absolutely fine. You don't have a God-given right to win a game of football. We don't just turn up and win a game of football because we're Leeds United. We have to earn it. What we've done over December, obviously we're 1st of January today, but what we've done in December is we've earned the points that we've got. And today, with the way that we played and the way that Blackburn set up, a draw is about a fair result. Now, yes, you shouldn't be conceding a goal like the way that you did, but it was never ever going to be a simple, straightforward game against Blackburn. They're 5th for a reason. You always have to pay respect to the team that you're playing against. Were they a little bit dirty? Yes, the ref wasn't really on top of them when it came to kicking and little jabs and stuff and all. There was some bits that went on. He didn't get on top of the time wasting in the first half, but he did in the second half. But we have to make the chances for ourselves, and we didn't in this game. It was very much after the Lord Mayor's show kind of performance. But for me, the most important thing is that we don't lose the game. For me, the most important thing is that we continue where we are. We keep putting points on the board. And luckily, we've got, 2 days to turn it around and to go to Hull and to put on a performance against Hull and win the game. So it's football. It's one of those things. I remember Joe Blackburn said, who was there at the game today, he said that they were setting everything up based off of set pieces, Blackburn. They were never, ever going to do anything out of open play. Everything was going to come via set pieces. And that's how John Eustace sets his sides up. That's how John Eustace set his side up today. And fair play, it worked. Pissed me off at the end because he turned around and stuck his fingers up to the crowd going, it's 5 minutes, it's only 5 minutes. But, it is what it is. We should have not conceded 2 minutes after that. And the important thing for me is that we still pick up a point. So I'm disappointed that we didn't win the game, but I'm also mindful of there's still loads of games to come, and we've got a game coming at the weekend where we can just completely turn it around again straight away. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe also as well. Happy New Year, although some people are acting like we've completely lost the game and that it's the end of the world and everything. It's not. It's football. We drew a game. We didn't lose. That's the most important thing. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. Thank you for stopping by. I genuinely appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.